All right, I think Karen has joined. Yes, she is there. Hello, Karen. How are you?
Hi, Karen.
Hello,
Karen.
everyone.
Hello, Karen.
Good, good.
Until
5 o'clock.
Yeah, we're
Probably.
So you guys, all right, it's just for now. We have a couple more people logging on. Kimberly, Justin, Brandon just joined us. Brian,
Kimberly.
Chelsea.
Hey, Megan.
Oh, hi,
friend.
Chels.
Hey.
Hey, Chels.
So I think we're gonna get started, so we have plenty of time to hear from Karen, okay? So I'm gonna ask you guys all to mute yourselves so we can give our
Got you,
full
Deb.
attention to
Everybody.
Karen. And I know many of you know Karen. She's joined us last year and she's joined us in person at our trainings. She is the expert in etiquette. She is going to talk to us about networking this afternoon, and we are absolutely thrilled to have her back. So Karen, I'm going to pass it over to you. And again, if you guys can mute yourselves for now, that'd be great. Go ahead, Karen, take it away.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I'm hoping that you're all well and getting nice and warm with the sun that's out there today and not the snow that came down this weekend. So I am just so excited because I have to share this. You people, this organization, your presenters, the people that you work with, you are my favorite group of all time. I have to tell you, a high five to all of you because you are my absolute favorite to work with.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to hearing from you, and every year this is my favorite thing. So I'm happy to be back. And we're going to talk today a little bit about networking. And I know we've touched upon it a couple times before in some of our other sessions, but we're going to talk about it because it is good to hear it again and think about it, especially now that we're kind of getting back in person again in some events. We're going to be meeting each other maybe in some events and getting out there now that hopefully the pandemic is kind of subsided and we're going to be out talking in person. So I'm really excited, and hopefully next year we could be in person. So it's great to see all your smiling faces. I recognize a few of you. I'm not good with names, but I'm recognizing a few of the faces out there. So I'm glad everybody's well, and we're kind of getting out of winter because isn't it next weekend is spring, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
yeah, so it's going to be nice to hopefully get some warm weather. And I think Thursday it's going to be 70. So,
Yes.
so we're going to talk about networking. So one of the first things that I always talk to with my classes on networking is this: you need to prepare, okay? Don't get a notice via email or get an invitation for a networking event and just take it and just, you know what, just toss it aside, just whatever, and just show up that day. What you want to do is you want to prepare yourself. So there's several ways you can do that. Read what the event is about. What type of people are going to be there? Are they going to be presenting a topic to you? Are you just there to network and get to know other people? These are some things that you want to be putting in the back of your head, and you want to prepare. And when you're doing things to prepare, these are a couple things that I do. I always say to myself, all right, where is the venue? So where is this networking event going to be? It's going to be in an auditorium. It's going to be at a school. It's going to be at a restaurant, wherever it's going to be. That gives me the mindset to say to myself, all right, this is how I want to show up there. And that goes into the next thing, attire. What am I going to wear to the event? These are things that you should be thinking about beforehand, not that very day or 5 minutes before you're walking out the door. You want to think about your attire. And this is what you're going to present yourself with. Now, I know a lot of you have, don't you guys have like a shirt or something that you have to wear, or the jacket that you have to wear for these events as global messengers? That's what I thought. Okay.
Karen, question
Yes.
asked you. Does the Penguin Punch count as a network event? I'm not sure.
Well, yes, and yes, absolutely. Any event, okay, even though, well, you have to wear your bathing suit to that one. So that you'd have to, that's kind of different. But, you know, yes, because you're going to be there representing yourself in Special Olympics, right? You're going to be there to meet talk to people. So absolutely, that is definitely an event. But in that case there, that would dictate to you what you would wear for the weather, whether it's a coat or a lot of these times they're doing this when it's like freezing cold temperatures out there. And God bless you all if you do it, because my girlfriend did it a couple of weeks ago. They had it up around here. And oh my goodness, I was freezing watching her. I was freezing just watching her run in, and it was crazy. But yeah, no, that definitely counts as one. So, you know, again, so if you're gonna that's a great thing. You know what? If you're going to that, you want to dress accordingly. Make sure that you have on proper clothing. And if it's cold out like that, you want to make sure you have your coat, your scarf, whatever. These are all things that you want to keep in the back of your head. What am I going to wear? How do I want to present myself? Do you have maybe a shirt, a coat, or a scarf, or anything that says, you know, your organization on it? You want to make sure that you have those things ready. So when you go, that you are represented well. Maybe you have your badges on. Do you have your badges? Do you all have badges or
Yes, we
name
do.
tags that you wear?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so let me ask you
Yes.
this, and I'm going to ask you this question. What side of the lapel, okay, so here's our lapel here, okay, on our chest. What side is the correct side that we need to put our name tag on? Does anybody know? Is it the right
On the-
side or is it the left side?
The left.
The right, the right.
Okay,
Right.
show me,
The
let me
right.
have hands for the right hand side. Who think it's the right? Show me your hands.
The right, the right.
Okay, now show
It's
me
the
the
right.
hands for left.
Ya está el recorder, okay?
Okay,
Sí, yo-
now we're going to talk about that. So here's what you should be doing. It always goes on the right hand side, and I'm going to tell you. How many of you shake hands with your right hand? What hand do you shake with? The right hand? Okay, so what you do is when you put that hand down, I'm going to back up just a hair.
Okay.
When you put your hand out, your direct line of eyesight, okay, when you're shaking hands, goes all the way up your arm and right to here. This is my right hand. So the proper place to put your name tag on is on the right hand side, because when you're shaking hands, my eyesight, when I'm looking at you, my eyesight is going to go directly up where the hand you're shaking with. Okay, up to that side, and it's the right. So if you have your name tag on the right hand side, people will be able to see it. So let's remember that when we go. Okay, so the right hand side is correct. And here's how you can remember that. So remember, if you're taking your hand and you're putting it over here on your left hand side, it looks like you're doing the chicken dance. Okay, right? But if you put it over here, okay, you look like a big chicken. Okay, so you want to
Karen, I have my own.
like a chicken and keep it on your right hand side. Okay, so again,
See?
put it over here, right hand side, hand goes all the way up and the visual goes right there. Can you guys remember that?
Yep. See, Karen, I have my own badge.
Oh, you do? Let me see.
Yes.
Can you have it on? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. So remember, right hand side. Got it. Awesome. So we're going to prepare. We're going to make sure we have our badge. We're going to have on whatever clothing that we need to wear for that. As in, you know, if you have like a special color shirt or whatever, we want to make sure we're preparing. And this is important. You know, a lot of times, you know, I will think to myself, well, I've got a class, for example, I'm teaching a class this Wednesday up in Massachusetts at a college. And I'm already thinking now, what am I going to wear? Where is the college? What's the weather going to be? All of these things you should be thinking of way ahead of time when you go to any event. Are you going to be inside? Are you going to be outside like the penguin plunge? These are all things you want to, so you could dress appropriately. So once we are there, we're going to talk about introductions. And this one here, I'm sure you've all heard me talk about this before, but this one is huge. Okay. And I've got some homework for all of you. Okay, so what I want you guys to remember is you want to say your name and you want to introduce yourself properly. So how do we do that? There are 5 S's. So if you can remember the 5 S's, the first one is stand. Okay, so I'm not going to stand, because if I stand, then all you're going to see is my necklace. But the first one is stand. Okay, so you, whenever you're introducing yourself to someone or vice versa, you always stand up. Okay, and that is awesome, because that way you're looking them right in the eye, and they could be taller or shorter than you, but at least you could see them. Okay, so you always want to stand up, and that shows respect. Okay, so we're gonna stand. We're gonna see. The second S is see. So stand, see. That means look them in the eye. I'm gonna take my glasses off so you could see. So see, look the person in the eye. Let's pretend that we're going to be meeting each other. So I want to look you in the eye. Okay, so we got stand, see. We always do this. Smile. Stand, see, smile. Okay, then you're gonna say your name. That's your fourth S. And then you're gonna shake. So stand, see, smile, say, and shake. So I am going to pretend that I am standing right now and I'm sticking my hand out to shake your hand. And I'm going to say, good afternoon. My name is Karen. Can you all try that right now and say, just pretend you're shaking my hand, look me in the eye, and then say your name and shake. Right hand, ready? All right, great shakes. Great shakes. Awesome job. So
I have a
let's
question.
remember. Oh, yes.
What are the last two S's at the end?
Sure. So, okay, you got stand, see, smile, say. So you're going to say your
Say.
name and then shake. Shake as in the pumping of the hands.
Shake.
Oh, good. You're taking notes because then you could refer back to them later. That's awesome. So stand, see, smile, say, shake. And those are your 5 S's of the perfect introduction.
Can you repeat
So-
that? So I'll write it down.
Absolutely. So the first one is stand. So you're going to stand. The second one is see. You're going to look the person in the eye. Smile. Okay. And then you're going to say your name. Hello, my name is. And then the last one is this part here is the shake. So you've got stand, see, smile, say, and shake. High five again, guys. This is perfect. You guys are doing awesome. We could do our virtual high fives. All right, so now we know what those 5 things are for the perfect introduction. You're going to go out, you're going to wow them, you're going to stand up, you're going to look them in the eye, you're going to smile, you're going to say your name, and you're going to shake their hand. But now where's the homework? So this is the homework. This is where you're going to want to remember this. This is fun. Okay, so how many of you brush your teeth every day? I do. Okay, I do it twice a day. All right, so we all brush our teeth, right? Okay, how many of you use the toothpaste that comes in a tube? Do you use the toothpaste that comes in a tube and you squeeze it and it comes out? Okay, I do. Okay, so if you have that tube of toothpaste at home, this is what I want you to do after we get off of our call tonight, or when you get a minute, or maybe tonight when you're brushing your teeth before bed. This is what you're going to do. You're going to go and you're going to look in the mirror. Okay, and you're going to pretend. So I'm looking in the mirror at myself right now, and I'm going to get my toothpaste. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab my toothpaste right now because you know what? I left it right over there. Hang on 1 second, and I'm going to get my toothpaste so I could show you. Hang on. Hold on. I left my toothpaste.
Oh, boy.
Okay. I'm back. All right, so I've got my toothpaste tube right here. I've got my Crest, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your toothpaste tube and you're gonna grab the toothpaste tube while you're looking in the mirror and tonight, and you're gonna take it and you're gonna grab it and you're gonna practice your 5 S's. So you're gonna do the stand, and you're gonna be standing because you're looking in the mirror. You're gonna see, you're gonna look yourself in the mirror. You're gonna look yourself in the eye. You're gonna stand, see, smile, and then you're gonna say, hello, my name is, and you're going to shake the toothpaste tube like this. Now, when you grab that toothpaste tube, I want you to grab that toothpaste tube as if that was somebody's hand, that you were shaking another person's hand. Here's where the test comes in. Are you ready? So you're shaking like this. And if you go and you squeeze and the toothpaste, so now you're shaking, okay, and you're practicing, and you squeeze the tube, okay, and nothing comes out, okay, you could see here, nothing's coming out. That means that your handshake is too light. So you're not really getting a firm handshake. You're kind of just being very light with it, okay? But if you take it, okay, and you're shaking, we're looking in the mirror and we're shaking, and all of a sudden the toothpaste comes out, you see it coming out? That means your handshake, okay, is too hard. You're hurting somebody's hand, okay? So I'm gonna get rid of this because I did that to show you purposely, okay? But if you take that tube of toothpaste and you shake and you're practicing tonight and you get the toothpaste to come right to, can you see that it's right to the edge there and it's not coming out? That means your handshake is just the right strength. So I want you to practice that tonight. You're going to go in the mirror with your toothpaste. Your parents are probably going to say, what are they doing? Why is she talking to herself? Or why is he talking to himself? Okay. But again, you're going to go in and you're going to take this test and you're going to try to get that toothpaste right to the edge like that without it squirting out. And that means you have the perfect handshake. How's that?
But what happens if you're still brushing your teeth without mostly having your crest mostly spilled all over your shirt and everything else? So come on.
You gotta do it after you brush your teeth. Just practice afterwards. 'Cause that way you have
So
because you don't want to use the toothpaste, then it falls all out, and now you got nothing to brush your teeth with. So brush
Yeah,
your
and I'm usually like in and out quick with brushing my teeth. I usually don't.
So yeah, so wait, sure, we get it right there, right there. See how it's, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit with it. And it might be a little dirty, but it's not coming out. So that's how you can test how your handshake is. Have you ever shook somebody's hand and they grabbed your hand and they squeezed it so tight that it like hurt? You were like, ow. Have you ever had somebody do that? Yeah, and it's not good. And then sometimes people shake your hand, right? And they shake and it's very light. It's like, oh, and it's like, oh, they didn't even feel like you're shaking. So this test here, the toothpaste test, is a fabulous way to test your handshake strength. And that's part of our 5 S's. So what do you think? You think you guys can try that tonight? Good.
Yes.
I do that with all of my college classes, and I bring the little tubes. You ever see the mini tubes that they give you? Sometimes you go to the dentist and they give you the little tubes. So I save all of those and I bring those to the colleges, and the colleges, they love doing that. So tonight you have homework. You're going to do the toothpaste test. Okay.
Maybe I could do like a video of me doing it.
Yes. Oh, I would love that. And you know what? You've got to send it to me. Make sure you maybe get it to Debbie and see if we could send it to me. I would love to see that. Oh yeah, that would be great. I've never had anybody videotape it. That would be awesome.
I'll try to make time for it. I mean, it's hard for me with the tube of toothpaste.
I know it is, but you know what? Try it. It'll just have some fun with it. You'll get to see if it doesn't come out, like I said. So remember, if it doesn't come out, okay, you got a light handshake. If it's coming out all over the place and you're wasting the toothpaste, your handshake is too hard. But if you could get it just right, perfect to the end like that, you got the perfect handshake. So I want to hear your results after this. So what you're going to do is, if you feel like videotape and send it to me, or give it to Debbie. She could send it to me, whatever, and we'll have some fun with that. I love to see it. Okay. All right. High five, everyone. All righty. Beautiful. All right. So now, here's the day. It's networking day. We're going to go to this networking event. We're so excited. We know what we're going to wear. We've done our toothpaste test. We're ready to go. It's time to go. And we're looking at the clock, and oh no, we're looking at our clock. And next thing we know, that the event is in 20 minutes and I haven't even gotten out the door yet. And oh my goodness, I'm going to be late. Okay. One thing you want to make sure you're doing is you're going to be on time. This is huge. Okay. So what is on time? You want to arrive a few minutes early. You don't want to get there a half an hour early. You don't want to get there 20 minutes early, 15 minutes early. Anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes is perfect. That way you can arrive. You have time to park. You have time to find your way in, get to wherever the meeting is, or if it's outside or whatever. So again, anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes is the perfect time to arrive at one of these events. So now we're going to get there. And we're going to get inside, and they're going to give you, you guys have your own name tag, so that you won't need, you'll bring your name tag with you. And it's going to go on what side? What did we just learn? What side is it going to go on? The right side, remember? We want to be the chicken wing. Okay, so we're going to be the chicken wing, and we're going to put it on our right side. Okay, and we're going to arrive. We're going to have our badge on, and we're going to go in. So when we go in, this is really important. I want you to remember this. There's so many times that I go to events and I don't know anybody. Maybe you're going to go to an event and you're not going to know anybody. Maybe you're going to know a few people. Maybe the people you know aren't there yet. So you're looking around the room and you're trying to figure out who's there and everything like that. What you want to do is when you enter the room, you want to do this. And we're going to talk about this a lot. We just talked about it with our 5 S's. We want to smile. Okay, this is huge. And I tell this to my college students all the time. You want to smile all the time. Why? Because that shows you're approachable. Would you want to come up to me if tell me which one you would prefer to go up and talk to? Would you want to come up to the person that's standing like this? Or would you rather come up to the person that's standing like this? Exactly. Right? Okay. You don't want to come up to me if I'm sitting there like this and I got my hands crossed like this, then I'm standing there and I'm looking around the room. I don't want to be here. I'm miserable. Look at her. Okay. I'm squinting my eyes. My hands are crossed, or I got my hand on my hip. Okay. We don't want to do any of that. We want to be standing up
That's
straight.
cold.
Yeah, right. It is. But haven't you been places where you've looked at somebody and they've got a scowl on their face and you think to yourself, I don't really want to know them. So you don't ever want to be that person. You want to be the person who is standing up tall. They're standing with good posture and they're smiling. Now, I'm not saying you got to walk in like this. Okay, and you got to stand there. Okay, you don't do that. But again, you want to look approachable. So that smile will take that to a different level. People will want to come up and talk to you. They're going to come up and say, hey, my name is, John, or hi, I'm Susie, or hi, nice to meet you. That's what you want to present. You want to present that beautiful smile. So can I see everyone's fabulous smile right now, please? I want to see them all. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at all of you. Look at all of you. Amazing. The ones I can't see, but high five to all of you. That's amazing. That's what you want to see. You want to show, okay, that you're approachable. So it's not just a cheesy smile for a picture or anything, but again, it shows that, wow, I want to get to know that person. And that's what you're going to put out there. And that's very, very important. So before we go any further, I'd like to know if there's any questions. I'll open it up and Debbie can call on the people for the questions.
Ashley, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Ashley. I just have a quick question. So I went to this event a few months ago and this lady was kind of being rude to other people, and they weren't slouching, but she was. Should they have walked away from her if they were giving her attitude, or should they have just asked what was a problem?
Well, you know what? That's a great question, Ashley. Now, I wouldn't go up to somebody and say, well, what's your problem? But what I would do is I would still go up. Say that was somebody that I wanted to meet. Okay, so it's somebody that I wanted to meet and I went up and they were just, I'm going to back up here, and they were just, just kind of standing there and they weren't real friendly. But I really want to meet them. So what I would do is I would go up, approach them and be like, hi, my name is Karen. Nice to meet you. And I would smile, and hopefully that smile is contagious. And maybe that person, by offering my hand and offering to say my name and offering to shake hands, maybe that would make that person happy and able to smile back. So never ask them well, what's your problem? Why are you so miserable? Or why are you being rude? Okay, you don't want to do that. Go up to the person and smile, say, hello, my name is whatever. My name is Karen, and see how they react. Now, if they're still rude and mean and you don't want to talk to them, then you could just, you could say, oh, geez, I'm sorry to bother you. And you could walk away. But again, what you want to do is you want to be the best person you could be. And if somebody else is mean, that's not your problem. That's not your fault. So again, try to be nice to that person. Sometimes all we need in this world is somebody else to be nice to us so we could be nice too. And sometimes all we need is a smile. Have you ever been walking maybe in a store or somewhere, I don't know, at the bank, at a store, wherever, and you see somebody scowling, but you look at them and you just smile and you go, hi, like that. And they, all of a sudden they're like, oh, hi. You know what I mean? That made their day. So you be the person you want to be and show the rest of the world what a great smile you have, and hopefully they'll smile back at you. Who has some other questions? Debbie, you'll call on someone?
How about Dan? You've got your hand up there. What's your question, Dan?
Okay. I work with Big Y, and I was hosting, and I was taking their hands, and I asked them, they know my name very, very well. My name is Daniel Whiting, and they know my name very well.
That's awesome.
Yes, I
because-
remember their name.
Are you good with remembering names, Daniel? Because I'm not. Are you good with remembering names?
Yes, I can tell by faces.
Yeah.
I read faces a lot.
And you know what, Daniel? Good for you, because you know what? It comes with age, and I'm old, okay? And sometimes I will see faces and I know that face, but I can't remember their name. It just goes right out the door. So it's funny, but good for you if you can remember names. And that's
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah, that's excellent. You know what? And I'm very proud to hear that, because again, you see their face and you're like, oh, that's, yeah, Susie, or oh, that's Karen, or whatever.
Yes,
You look very familiar, because you've been on my classes before, and I've met you in person. I know I have, haven't we?
I did. I remember.
Yes, yes. Awesome. That's awesome. All right, who's got another question?
Let's go to Robin. Robin, what's your question?
I just wanted to say something that I think is really important. It was more, sorry, my video. Sorry.
I'm looking for, it's funny, I'm
something that's
looking
really
around
important,
for you.
I think. What?
I was looking around because the squares jump, so I couldn't find you. I see you.
I
now.
know.
Sorry.
I think something for me is I've actually been asked to speak on a corporate level. And I've also spoken at Dream Ride, which I don't know if you're familiar with what Dream Ride is.
Yes, yes.
But I think something that's equally as important that you kind of haven't touched on is to follow up afterwards and write them a thank you note and acknowledge not their existence, but I don't know the right word to use.
That you met, absolutely.
That and you know, don't write an email. I mean, I'm a child of the 80s, so maybe I'm just old fashioned. Like, I will write it in a card. I won't send an email. I will write it in a card and, you know, just say thank you, because I really think it's important to follow up after, you know, like a day or two.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't, you just didn't mention that. So I thought that it was interesting that you didn't mention that.
Yes, no, we're getting to that at the end. That was the
Oh,
very
sorry.
last one. No, that's fine. But we could go back over again. At the very end, that's our last thing we're going to do. And we're going to talk about the 3 thank you rule. So remind me that, Robin, at the end, we're
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
talk about the 3 thank you rule. So no, I'm glad you reminded me. All
And
right,
get their business card so you have their physical address.
exactly. You can teach. All right, Robin, you're hired. You
Yes,
can
ma'am.
teach my
Thank you.
class.
I think that's why Debbie picked me.
That's it. That's it. All right, let's see. We have one. Let's go with one more question and then we'll continue.
How about Justin? We haven't heard from him yet today.
How you doing, Karen?
Good. How are you?
Good. Now, I recently saw that you were on with Taylor Kinsler on CT Live recently.
Yes.
And what was that like talking about? I think you were talking about networking, correct?
Yes. It's funny. See, now he watches. And this is funny. A lot of people, I appear monthly on NBC CT Live. I am on there once a month doing different topics, and we were talking about networking. So very good. Yes, Justin, that was a great experience. Taylor is fabulous. If you ever get to meet her, you will love her. She is just young and beautiful, and she's wonderful. but that's the thing. And you know how I greeted her? Went up to her, smiled, put my hand out. And you know what she did, Justin? She came back at me with a big, huge smile, hand out. And we are very good friends now. I've been doing that show for, let's see, that's been a newer show that they've had on there for like the last 3 or 4 years. So yeah, I do that every month. She's wonderful. And hopefully you guys will get to meet her one day.
That's cool.
I actually know her.
Do you? Yeah, she is amazing, isn't she?
Yeah, I met her once, I think.
Yeah, she is. She's there. And then I also do, you guys can also look for me on Channel 8. Good Morning Connecticut. I do that every once in a while, and then I do a show up in Massachusetts. So if anybody lives in Massachusetts, they could catch me up there, but we talk about all of these things. So thank you so much for bringing that up. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to be on TV. So we're going to continue, okay? And then, so if anybody else has questions, just hold those to the end, and then we will we'll go back to that. Okay. All righty. So now we get there. We're fabulous. We've got our name tag on. Everything is wonderful. Everything is great. So we want to make sure that we look approachable by our smile. We're going to be smiling at people and we're going to be talking. But one thing you have to remember is this, okay? There is a reason that you are blessed with 2 of these, 1 and 2, and 1 of these. So 2 ears and 1 mouth, because we want you to listen twice as much as you talk. Okay, you say, well, why? I don't understand. Well, here's the reason why. In a society like today, and it's just the way we are, we get excited. Okay, I'm Italian. I talk with my hands. You see me when I'm on the video, or you see me on TV and I'm talking and my hands are going here and there. Okay, that's just me. I get excited. I love what I do. Okay, but sometimes I get where I cut people off. So somebody will be talking. Okay. And I get so excited, like they'll ask a question, but they're still talking. And I get so excited that I cut them off. Okay. That is something that I have to work on. So what we want to do is listen, let somebody finish their conversation, finish what they're saying. Okay. Stop for a minute. Okay. Think, what did they say? I'm listening hard, and then stop and then reply. Okay, and this one's a very difficult one to master. And again, I'm going to tell you, I know I get excited. And even like when you're on a phone call, have you ever been on a phone call and, you know, somebody's saying something and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, and you just want to answer. You're like, oh, yes, I've done that. Or, you know, you jump in. We want to make sure that we're listening. So when we go to these networking events and we talk to people, we want to make sure we're hearing what they say. Let them finish their sentence. Stop, pause for a moment. You're thinking of what they said, and then reply. Too often, we don't really listen to what they're saying. And you know what a great technique to do and to practice is, so somebody's talking to you and you say, oh, you know, the person is saying to you, I just went to, let's use the penguin plunge. I just went to the penguin plunge and I was there, and now you want to jump in because you've got to say something. You get so excited. Okay. What you want to do is let them finish. Okay. Now that person is finished talking. So what I'm doing is I'm listening. Okay. And how do they know I'm listening? Because I'm looking them in the eye. I'm nodding my head. I'm hearing what they're saying, and the wheels are turning and I'm thinking. So now they finished, and I think for a minute. And then I respond and I say, that's fantastic. I was at a penguin plunge a few weeks ago, blah, blah, blah. You know, we continue the conversation. So this one is key. Okay. Let us all go. And when we go to networking events, we want to listen to hear, not just respond. So again, listen, because we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen twice as hard, twice as much than we do speak. Right? Makes sense, right? All right, fabulous. So we have that. Now, when we go to these networking events, we want to ask questions. Okay. When we go there, maybe, you know, you're meeting somebody for the first time, or maybe you've met them before. You know, like Chad, you and I, Chad. No, is it Chad or was it Justin? Who did I meet at the, I've met a couple of you actually. So there's a bunch of you that I met, but we've met before. And maybe I can't remember, like, you know, where you work. Okay. And I'm talking to whatever like that. ask questions. Where was it that you say, now let's say, even let's go back to the part about not remembering somebody's name. So let's say I'm at an event, you see me, okay? You come up and you're like, oh, there's Karen, whatever like that. And I see you and I just can't remember your name because again, I'm old. Okay. And I can't remember your name. You know what I would do in that case? I would ask the person, you know what? I'm so sorry. I know we've met before, but geez, can you refresh my memory? What's your name? Okay. And that's a great way to say, instead of going up to somebody and be like, oh yeah, I know, I met you before, but who are you? Now, which is the better way to do it? Wait, who are you? Wait, what is your name? Or, oh, I'm so sorry. I can't remember. I can't recall your name. I know we've met before, but can you refresh my memory?
Third version.
Right? The second one is better. Okay. Because again, you know what? We all do it. We got a lot on our mind. We're thinking, we're excited. We're at an event. We're doing all these fabulous things. And you know what? Sometimes it just, you just can't remember. So again, ask questions. But again, when you ask a question, ask it in a way that's friendly. What are we doing all the time? We're smiling. Okay. We smile a lot and we're like, oh, geez, you know, and that just conveys politeness. You're being very civil, you're being polite, and you're being respectful. And that's what we want out of everybody, don't we? We all want to be respected. We all want to be heard. Okay. So again, we want to ask questions and we want to ask them with a smile. Okay. So these are a couple of different things. Now, when we're talking, this is huge too. We want to speak clearly. Okay. We don't want to talk like softly so nobody can hear you. Okay. Because sometimes, you know, people, you get nervous and maybe you're like, what did you just say? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Okay. You want to speak clearly. Okay, not shouting. Okay, you don't want to be yelling in somebody's face. Okay, but again, you want to speak clearly and you want to hear what they have to say. And some people talk faster than others. I know I do. You know, I talk very quickly sometimes. But again, you want to make sure that you're talking, that they can hear what you're saying, and vice versa, that they can hear what you're saying. So keep these things in the back of your mind when you're at these types of events, and things will go fabulously. And then this here, we're gonna circle around. Okay, the 3 thank you rule. 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm so glad she brought this up. So we're at the end of an event, and now we're gonna leave, and it's time. Let's say the event is from 5 to 7. Okay, and you look at your clock, or you know, and they say, oh, you know what? It's 6:45. You know, we're gonna be wrapping up. What do you think? Okay, fine. So what you want to do is you want to thank that person in person. You're standing there. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to go in with our handshake and we're going to say, gee, you know what, Chad, it was fabulous to meet you. Or gee, Justin, it was good to meet you. And shake their hand. That's the first thank you. The very first one in person.
On the way out.
Okay. So first is in person. The second one, okay, is via email. So, and you were saying that you don't like to do the email. You could do the email if you want, or not. Okay, but I do 3. So I do 1 in person. Geez, it was great to meet you. Thank you so much. Okay. 2, I email that person and I, dear so-and-so, it was great to meet you today at this event. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I can't wait to see you again at the Penguin Plunge. I keep using that. Okay. And, sincerely, Karen. Okay. So that's 2. Now, what is the 3rd? And she mentioned it. So she knows this. She's taken my class. The 3rd one is a handwritten note. And there's nothing more fabulous than getting a note in the mail. Okay, from somebody. You go to the mailbox and you open it up and there's something addressed to you, and you open it up and you read it and you say to yourself, oh, wow, you know what? I met Chad at this event and he actually took the time to thank me via email and followed up. And there's nothing like that feeling, and making somebody feel special and that you actually heard them and that they meant something to you. So again, how do you do that? And she also said this as well. She said, get their business card. Or for a lot of us who have cell phones, maybe you have a cell phone, you could get their information on the cell phone. A quick way to do that is, you know what you could do? You could take a picture of their business card. So let's say they have their business card like this and I'm there, and you could say, geez, can I take a picture of your business card? Sure. So you go up, you go click, you take a business card and you take it, and then you go back home and it's on your phone and all the information is right there. And that way you'll have their name, address, and all of that. So these are just a couple of things that you want to keep in the back of your mind. We're going to just recap and go over everything, and then we'll go to questions. So first and foremost, we want to prepare. We want to prepare ourselves. Where is this event going to be? What type of people? Who's going to be there? Are they going to be fellow students? Are they going to be fellow Olympians? Are they going to be all global messengers? Are they going to be corporate people? What type of people we want to think? And that will give us what we're going to wear, right? Because we're not going to wear the same thing to the Penguin Plunge that we're going to wear maybe to a networking event. And then we're going to make sure that our attire is appropriate. We're going to make sure that we get there on time. Like I said, 5 to 10 minutes ahead of time, so we could get in the building or wherever we're going. Okay, we're going to do that. Then we're going to make sure that we are prepared. We're going to do our introductions. We're going to do the 5 S's, the stand, see, smile, say, and shake. Okay, you guys are going to be pros because you guys are going to get your toothpaste out tonight, and you're going to do that, and you're going to practice, right? So you're going to do that. Then you're going to talk to people. We're going to listen intently. We're going to make sure we're hearing what they say. We're not cutting them off, and we're going to talk to them, and we're going to mix ourselves around the room. And talk to different people. Maybe they have some hors d'oeuvres, some snacks. That'll be fabulous. Maybe they have soda, drinks, or, you know, coffee. That's fabulous. And then after we're done and it's time to go home, we're going to thank the people that we, you know, talk to. Or let's say we're at an event and you talk to this person and you know that you're going to go meet 3 other people. Thank them right then and there. And then you're going to do the 3 thank you rules. So you already did 1. You're going to go home, you're going to email them, and then you're going to go and you're going to write them a note and you're going to send it to them. So are there any questions? I'll have Debbie take over with any questions that you have before we close out our session.
Hey, let me just
Debbie,
do that. So
can we
can
go?
see
Can we
everybody.
go over my Debbie? Debbie,
Yes, Logan.
can we go? I don't know how many points I have now.
Well, now's not the time. We'll have to do that after the meeting, but thanks for bringing that up. So hold that thought. And we're going to go to questions. Carly, I see your hand raised. Go ahead, Carly.
I have a few things to say.
Go ahead.
Yesterday I was at a pizza shop with some friends in the Westville section of New Haven and hanging out and doing some coloring while eating pizza. And another friend of ours couldn't make it till later because he was at the St. Patrick's Day parade in New Haven. And then a couple hours later, he says he's on the way, and then he eventually walks in the pizza door and is angry and stuff and drops his horn down on the ground in the pizza shop. And we're all asking him, Matt, what's the matter with you? And he's saying he's had a bad day at the parade. And then we tell him, do some coloring, here's some pizza for you to make you feel better. And then he felt better an hour into it.
And that's
And
great.
he's usually happy when he walks in the door to hang out with us.
And you greeted him nicely. You
And
saw
then-
that he was sad. He maybe wasn't smiling.
Yes, and
right?
showed him the smile too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he usually smiles when he says hi, but he was mad. And
See,
then at
you
my
did it
work, I
perfect.
sometimes get people like that too. Sometimes I'll get people that smile and say, hi, Carly, it's me, or what's your name? And I introduce.
You got it perfect. You're doing it already. See, you don't even need this class.
Yeah.
Great job.
And then I had to also do the same thing when I moved in. I also had to do the same thing when I moved into my apartment 2 weeks ago and introduce my neighbors. If I saw them outside by our cars, outside the building, had to do that too. And some of them were nice too.
That's awesome. You're doing a great job. Keep up the great work, Carly. That's great to hear.
Okay, let's see who didn't ask a question yet. How about John Woods? Go ahead, John. Oh, you're on mute, John. Unmute yourself there. Yep, hold on, Alicia.
Karen, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think, all you said, about everything is true and right on target. But what I would say is if there's a event or a network event that you're gonna go to, is either delay or postpone. What do you think would be a good thing for athletes to do if it's, like snowing or freezing rain and the event is, either delayed or postponed? And I would know what to do, but what would be a good thing for athletes to do if for some reason, for inclement weather, that the event is postponed?
And that's a great question. You want to make sure that, you check before you go anywhere. So Saturday here, I live up in Litchfield County. And Saturday we woke up and I had things to do in the morning. And all of a sudden we looked out the window, it was raining. And then all of a sudden it was snowing like that. It was, and so I was supposed to go to a food drive. And as far as I knew, it was still on. So what you want to do is you want to make sure, call ahead if you could call and find out if it is, or if you can't go, let's say that you can't go because you don't want to put your life in danger by driving, or, something came up, you woke up that morning, you're sick and you just can't go to the event, or you find out, you want to make sure that you're going to call. Okay, or make sure that you tell them that you're not coming, because people might be waiting for you. They might be thinking, oh, you know what, he's coming, and they're waiting and waiting. Like she was saying, she was at the pizza place and her friend didn't come for a while. Maybe people might start to worry. So if you can't make an event, or you're sick, or something comes up and like that, you make sure you want to call or email them or text them. If you text, do that and make sure that you tell them so people don't worry or they're upset that you didn't show up. That's great. You want to make sure that you want to do that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Great, John. Okay, let's go over to Carla. Carla, what's your question today?
Oh. I have a couple of people in my school that are new. We have some new staff. I did the same thing, the 3 S's.
You got 5 S's. Yeah.
5. I did those, and the new staff, some staff are in my classroom, some of them are in the main building. So we just, a couple of my friends and I, we went to those classrooms and we introduced ourselves. Some of my friends needed help, so I just helped them to do the 5 S's.
That's awesome. So now you can go and teach them, can't you? Because you had this class.
Yeah.
Yes. See, and isn't it nice when you're teaching somebody something new? Say, you know what, this is a great way. You could do it this way. This is a great way to make new friends, or to learn new friends, or to introduce yourself. And you could tell them, I took a class and this is what I learned. I look at them, I smile, I shake their hand, I say my name. That's fabulous. You're doing awesome.
Thank you.
Great job.
Excellent. Let's go over to Abby. We haven't heard from her yet. Go ahead, Abby.
First of all, I just wanted to say I've been a guest speaker a couple times at some meetings. And the last meeting that I was at, guest speaker at, I was not expecting this, but they sent me a gift in the mail.
Awesome. That's so awesome. What was it?
And 2 thank you notes too.
Oh, what was the gift? I'm interested to know. What was it?
I'll show you.
Look at that. Wow. That is amazing. So you must have been an awesome speaker if they sent you gifts.
I was, and I'm going to be one of the speakers at the awards night.
Oh, that is amazing. So all of this that you're learning today is not just for networking, but it's also when you do your events, speaking as a speaker, or somebody said they do corporate too. Great job. Great job.
Yeah, ask Debbie. She and I are meeting tomorrow to go over my speech.
Oh, that's so good.
Yep, you're gonna do great. Okay, I think we haven't heard from Brittany yet. Go ahead, Brittany. Go ahead and unmute yourself there.
Can somebody catch me up from the meeting last week because I missed it?
Yep, I'll send you the recording after this training, okay? Thanks for asking.
Okay.
All right, awesome. Let's see. How about Aaron? He's been having his hand up there for a while.
I just want to say, I just did my penguin plunge. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. No, it was on. Let me look to see exactly. It was on the 6th. I did the penguin plunge on the 6th, and I did my speech though. And when I was outside, I got there on time and everything else. The worst part of that, it started raining and everything else. So the hard part was we didn't have like a microphone or anything or a speaker or anything else. So I had to speak through the bullhorn, and the bullhorn didn't work. And they're like, "Oh, son!" So now I had to use my loud voice to talk to the people. So
And I hope it doesn't happen to me next weekend. I hope it doesn't happen to me next weekend.
Well, the only thing with that though is like what's really funny was my parents were there because they wanted to see exactly what I was going to do and everything else. So I when I did my speech and everything else, so people said like, "Hey, I did a good job" and everything else. So and then like after that, we got down by the beach. We sent everybody else in the water. It was cold though. I guess they got pictures of me, like just getting them in, just telling them go doing the 3 counts, the 1, 2, 3 counts, and send them in the water and everything else. So, but it was cold though. But we had a good time. It was great, and it was. I'm willing to mostly do more other events with speeches and everything else. So.
That's
Thank you.
great. That is absolutely great. And you know what? Sometimes things like that happen where, the speaker doesn't work or something like that. And you have to be prepared. So the best thing to do is not panic and say, "Oh, I can't do it," or walk away or get mad or anything. You know what you do? You just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, think about it, and think about what you can do to help the situation. And that's all. It happens to all of us. So great job, Aaron.
Stanley, did you have a question? Go ahead, Stanley, unmute yourself. Yep, go ahead. Can you unmute yourself, Stanley? All right. No? Okay, let's come back to Stanley. Go ahead and unmute yourself. We'll come back to you, Stanley. Ashley, go ahead.
So on last Friday, me and my mom got the privilege to go to a concert at a casino. And my mom's friend got us tickets. And I didn't know that we were going because Friday I had to do something that I didn't want to do, but at least I got it done with. So that was my reward. And I didn't know that I was going because my mom told me that the tickets were through her friend. And I wasn't expecting it. So my mom was like, after the concert, she's like, "Oh, you should send him a video." So I sent him a video and he sent me one back saying, "You're welcome for the tickets." And I was in shock because we were three rows away from the stage. So I was like, "Oh my gosh."
That's amazing. I hope you had a great time.
Ashley, what concert? What was it? Which one? What one did you go see?
I saw Celtic Thunder.
Oh, wow. Yes. Woo! I hear there's songs at my house.
Nice. Okay, let's hop over to Natasha. Go ahead, Natasha, with your question.
Okay, sure. Let's see, I can find it. Okay, I have questions about networking in your job. Do you use Zoom, Teams, social media, Instagram, YouTube, and etc.?
Ah, that's a great question. So I wear two hats. I have two different jobs, and I don't know if any of you know this or not, but I am also, in addition to my teaching, I do my etiquette classes, I'm on TV with all of that, but I also am the executive director of a food bank in my town. And so I wear two hats. I do my etiquette and I do the food bank stuff. And I use Zoom, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I used to use Twitter. I'm not a big Twitter fan. I really like more so like Instagram and Facebook because you can see the pictures and, you know, there's pictures and stuff. So yeah, I use all of those things, and you know, I use them all of the time. So if any of you want to follow me, I can send some information to Debbie, or you could connect with me on Facebook. And I know I've got a few friends from when we were in person a couple of years back on my Facebook page. So I would love to have you guys find me on Facebook and let's become friends. I love it. I use it all the time. And you know what? It's fun. It's absolutely fun.
Excellent. I'll definitely share the link to Karen's page in my follow-up so we can all keep in touch with her and definitely invite her back. Kimberly, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, like for me, it's just recently I did an event at Jersey Mike's in Glastonbury. I actually got there a little bit early because where I was before, I was in Manchester to Glastonbury, took me a while. So I had plenty of time to get there on time. And I was there because I was getting people from Glastonbury to donate for Special Olympics, and we did a good balance of donations. So there was not just that I was there, but Bo Doherty was there as well. So I got an opportunity to make subs as Jersey Mike, and that was really a good surprise for me because I actually had a food prep experience for one of my jobs I did at Dave & Buster's. So that's kind of was really good with me doing that. And I'm gonna do a follow-up, and I'll be doing a thank you letter to them.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That sounds like you had a fun time.
Yes, I did.
I'm going to the one in Enfield.
Yeah.
I'm going to the one in Enfield.
Yep, that's great, Logan. You're going to be our event ambassador at that plunge too. Okay, we're coming up on 4:56, and I know I like to keep these to just an hour. So let's get our last question from Angie. We haven't heard from her yet today. Go ahead, Angie. You're on mute, Angie.
Sorry. So I did have a question about shaking the hands. So if someone shake your hand like really hard, like how do you handle that? Like how do you handle that?
Okay, great question. So let's say somebody's shaking your hand really hard. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to pull away and be like, oh, ow, you know, okay? You don't want to, because you don't want to insult anybody. You don't want, you know, them to feel like you're hurting their feelings. But you know what you could do? You could just basically, you could kind of let go a little bit on your end. So let's say somebody's squeezing my hand really hard, okay? Just let go on your end a little bit, and that'll give them the clue to kind of let go a little bit. It doesn't always work every time. I will be honest. Sometimes somebody will just go in and they're like, ah, okay. And you're like, ah, okay. What you don't want to do is you don't want to put a silly face on or anything, you know what? Just kind of be like, you know, let go a little bit on your hand, and that'll hopefully signal them to let go a little bit and not be so hard. I have to say, there's sometimes they don't realize they're doing it. But you know what? This toothpaste test will help you make sure that your handshake is okay. And hopefully people will, you know, just kind of realize that, you know, that they're going in a little too hard. You always want, when you're greeting somebody, you want to make sure that it's a pleasant experience. You want to make sure that it's enjoyable and it's not bone crushing.
Well, what wonderful advice. We've got so many great tips and and learnings today from Karen. She is always dynamic. She's always such a joy to hear from. I'm sure you agree. So I'd love for you to all unmute yourself and give Karen a big thank you and round of applause for
Thank
spending
you,
your time.
Karen.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Karen.